Oh, come on, do it. Do it now. Of course, I am Marx Max Muscle's favorite Mr. Olympia champion. I am Arnold Schwarzenegger, the greatest of all time, and I was good in every pose. Hello, everyone. Mark here, Marx Max Muscle, and this is, again, another fantastic request from you guys. You guys want to see my favorite Mr. Olympia champion ranking to my least favorite. And like I say, you never cease to amaze me on the ideas you come up with. And of course, I love bodybuilding. I never get tired of doing these requests for you guys. Until I'm an old geezer, I'll still do these. But having said that, this puts me in quite a bind. I have to announce somebody at the end of this video as my least favorite. Arnold Schwarzenegger is my favorite Mr. Olympia champion. As you probably know, Arnold's not my favorite bodybuilder of all time. And he might not even be my favorite bodybuilder that was Mr. Olympia champion, but Arnold Schwarzenegger is my favorite Mr. Olympia, if that makes sense to you guys. When I was watching Pumping Iron, I didn't want Lou to win. I wanted Arnold to win. I figured that he was the best man for the job, things of that nature. And of course, he had some bad times. 1980. Maybe shouldn't have won. Does that hurt him having a first place ranking in this video? No, not at all. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not only is he the greatest Olympia champion of all time, but yes, he is Marx Max Muscle's favorite Mr. Olympia champion. And now we go down the list, and this is where it gets difficult. I have Dexter the Blade Jackson as my second favorite Mr. Olympia champion. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that he can beat all the other guys? Not even close. That's not what it means. This is a personal feeling. Say you're watching a sport of your favorite sport, hockey, baseball, football, whatever. It's your favorite team. You want that team to win. When Dexter the Blade Jackson defeated Jay Cutler in 2008, I still get choked up a little bit. I wanted him to win so bad. I didn't think he was going to win, then he won. So Dexter the Blade Jackson will always be Mr. Olympia, whether he places second, third, or even lower. Not too low, though. Not too low, though, for the next 30 years or whatever it was. But he is Marx Max Muscle's personal favorite Mr. Olympia champion, aside from Arnold. So that's what this video is about, guys. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. Everybody watching this video would have a completely different list. That's what makes it fun. Now, let's continue on with the list. Sergio Oliva is my third favorite Mr. Olympia champion. For the older guys, a little bit more difficult. I wasn't there, obviously. I have to go by hearsay, pictures, and rare video footage that is around, and decide for myself how I would have felt if I was actually around back then about these guys winning. And I believe that I would have been very happy with Sergio Oliva being the Mr. Olympia champion. I mean, so dominant. And of course, that's not what this video is about, how good he was or how dominant he was, but everybody talks about a couple of guys we're going to see here in a couple minutes being the most dominant Olympia champions. Hey, Sergio Oliva. I don't see anybody even coming close to him when he was in his prime. But having said that, what a great representative of this title. I mean, Sergio Oliva, he was primo grade A beef. So, moving on, we have Phil Heath. And that's going to be a little bit, people are going to be like, well, you can't complain and say that's the wrong answer, but why would I like Phil Heath as Mr. Olympia champion so very, very much? Well, he brought heat to that stage. He received heat from his haters, from the internet, from everything, from all aspects, because he was so good. He would flex that arm and just say, he wasn't even competing. He just flexed the arm, say, that's, it's all over. I'm Phil the Gift Heath. I'm the best. Nobody's even going to come close. And he'd go and he'd win the title. And that's what garnered that heat. In my opinion, it just made things much more exciting. It made bodybuilding much more exciting. It was like a show. So Phil Heath, that's one of the reasons why he is my fourth favorite Mr. Olympia. I gotta keep track on how many I've listed so far. Next is a controversy. We have two guys here. They're tied for fifth. They're tied for sixth. Dorian Yates, Ronnie King Coleman. In both cases, I feel about the same. I am not denying either one of their greatnesses. In both cases, they ushered in so much more mass, so much more condition than anybody else. I mean, yeah, Coleman was much more advanced, but as was 2003, much more advanced than 1993 as the years went by, right? So, but either which way, I was very happy that they were Olympia champion. Was there other guys on the roster that I would have been more happy if they had won, if they had dethroned these guys? Yeah, probably. But a lot of them guys never did, or hardly any of them ever did become Mr. Olympia champion. Dorian Yates, Ronnie King Coleman, two of the best. And like I said, yeah, I like them. I like them both just fine. But there are the guys that I listed prior that I do enjoy as Mr. Olympia champion. And a lot of people are going to be scratching their heads. He likes Phil Heath more than Ronnie King Coleman. Did you hear it? He said it. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I just like him as champion better. So, on with the number 7 on this list. Okay, yeah, because tied for 5th or 6th. Larry Scott. Larry Scott. We cannot forget about Larry Scott. He was the first. Was there other guys around? Yeah, they were around, not competing in the IFBB. Larry Scott, that could have beat Larry, I mean. Larry, he was perfect for the time. I mean, he had that hair, handsome, and he had a great physique. So was I happy that Larry Scott is or am I happy that Larry Scott is the very first ever Olympia champion, the first ever Mr. Olympia? Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. Number 8 on the list, my 8th favorite Mr. Olympia champion is Big Ramy Momdelsbaye. Why, you may ask? Why? He's a modern competitor, but I have to kind of place myself in the timeline of some of these older guys and how I feel that I would have been a bit excited if they won the title, or if I would have been like, meh. But I know for a fact I was very excited when Big Ramrod was announced the 2020 Mr. Olympia champion. I was like a breath of fresh air. I was like, finally a new champion to, hold on to that title. And it didn't really transpire like we all thought. No fault of Ramy's, though, I think. I was just very happy to see him win that title. And yeah, only a 2-time champion, but that's twice as good as a 1-time champion. Puts him in that category with Larry Scott. But their greatness is not in question on this video. It's a personal, Marks Max Muscles' own personal favorite Olympia champions, and very difficult. As I was finishing up the list, I kind of just put them all on like I said, all their pictures, and I was crossing them off as I was going through them, and then I was like, okay, well, who else? Who's my favorite Olympia champion now? And Frank Zane, I guess he was there. The rest of the guys, I'm happy they won the Olympia title, even the guy in the last. But Frank Zane, yeah, he was a different sort of take on the title. He took the bodybuilders out of the gym and put them running on the beach, things of that nature. We're lean, we're athletic. He held that title pretty good. He was a pretty good Olympia champion. Not the best. Far, far from the worst. I guess I'm a skinny guy myself, so I probably would have been fairly happy that Frank Zane was the Olympia champion. Next, we have Lee Haney. Why is Lee Haney not higher on this list? Well, he was good. He was dominant. It was kind of a foregone conclusion. It was a watershed moment for bodybuilding, somewhat, if you think of how developed the guys were in the mid-70s, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbu. I think that the development wasn't that much better, so I don't think I would have been too excited. And I do remember the tail end of Lee Haney's career. I thought he was huge, thought he was massive, but seen pictures of Arnold too, and I thought I was much more excited about that guy. Much more excited about the big 70s muscles. But Lee Haney, yeah, I still happy about him. Still happy about him being Mr. Olympia champion than the rest of them. Like number 11 on this list, my 11th favorite Mr. Olympia champion, Franco Columbu. It was more or less, he won it because Arnold retired, and then he won it again because Arnold was his friend. I like Franco Columbu. Heck, probably my favorite bodybuilder of all time. But we're talking Mr. Olympia champion. Was he the right man for the job? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. All I know is that he was Mr. Olympia champion, and I had to rank him somewhere on this list, and it's close to the center, I guess, close to the lower end. And next, we have Shawn Rhoden. Shawn Rhoden, I mean, yeah, he dethroned Phil the Gift Heath. Was there other guys? And I'm being respectful here, guys. I'm being honest, is what I'm being. Gotta be honest. Shawn Rhoden wouldn't fault me for that. I would have been more excited to see maybe Rolly Winkler win the title, to be honest with you. I like Shawn Rhoden. I like him. I like him a lot. But is he ranking any higher because he left us so very quickly? No, I'm being honest with you guys on this one. Shawn Rhoden, I liked him. I liked him as champion. He was a great bodybuilder. He ranks number 12 on this list. Next, we have Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler. I kind of stopped watching bodybuilding at this point because Jay Cutler won the title. I like him as a person. He's awesome. One of the best dudes. Heck, he was even a great Mr. Olympia champion. He's a little off couple of times there, but it has nothing to do with me putting him so low on this list. I just wasn't excited. I wasn't jumping up and down. Yeah, Jay won. Woohoo! Well, poor Jay. Poor Jay. He gets a bad rap sometimes. 2009, Jay Cutler. One of the best physiques that the bodybuilding world's ever seen. But still, he gets number 13 on this list. Next, we have Samir Banu. And he is my 14th favorite Mr. Olympia champion. And again, for these older guys, I have to kind of pretend that I was around back then. Go off pictures, video footage, a little bit more video footage of these guys. And hearsay. And I don't think that I would have been too excited. I don't think it was a ripoff or anything like that along the lines of a Shawn Rhoden. I was happy about it, but probably would have been more excited to see other guys win the title back then. To be honest with you, Dan. And yeah, he's got the great tree, Christmas trees, baby please. But if it was another guy, Bertil Fox, we would have been talking about his arms. Or if it was Tom Platz, we would have been talking about his legs. Nobody would have beat him. Samir Banu, a great Mr. Olympia champion, but there's nobody on this list that I am displeased with. So I kind of have to pick from what we have left. And next we have Brandon Curry. And I believe that I would have felt about the same as when Samir Banu won. It was like basically we were waiting for another great champion to come along. And Brandon Curry, he deserved the title. He has a fantastic physique. Personally, I think he is one of the greater dudes out there. He is a real cool dude. I mean, he'd do anything for your fans, for us, for the fans. He'd go and sign autographs, things of that nature. But having said that, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pop the cork and start pouring champagne when Brandon Curry won the title. Or bubbly. I guess I drink bubbly. Next, we have Hadi Choopan. I thought he deserved it. Like Brandon Curry, I figured, yeah, kudos to him. Shawn Rhoden as well. Kudos to him. Am I very happy about it? Extra happy about it? No, not really. Not really. Kind of playing the waiting game. Playing the waiting game. Who's next? With all due respect to Hadi Choopan, but he gets 16th on this list. Next, Chris Dickerson. Come on, Marks Max Muscle. Why? Again, in 1982, Chris Dickerson won his only title. And what can I say? I believe I would have been happier with maybe Al Beckles, probably Tom Platz. Was Tom Platz around then? His bicep was torn by then. But having said that, Chris Dickerson, I mean, he's an Olympia champion. He's an Olympia champion. And I don't think I would have been too excited about him winning the title back in the day. And then we get to Derek Lunsford. He is your current Mr. Olympia champion. And he has the misfortune of me actually knowing how I felt about these guys, like Hattie, like Roden, things of that nature. And just lukewarm. No real excitement. Taking nothing away from the guy. Again, Derek Lunsford, I love you, big man. I think you're a great champion. And they're all good. It's like if you guys ask me who's a good Olympia champion. Oh, Derek Lunsford. Okay, who's the next? Your next favorite, I guess I'd say, well, maybe Chris Dickerson. But yeah. I'm sure a lot of you guys can concur with this. That the current ones, you kind of have to go into the future and then look back and see how you felt about it. And Derek Lunsford, I have to say, I think we're playing the waiting game. Does he deserve the title? Yes, that's not what I'm saying. Sing! But he defeated Hattie Shupin, a guy that I just really wasn't too excited about either. If you get what I'm cooking, if you smell what the Rock is cooking, bum chippa-pum. But yes, this is just a fun one, guys. Had to throw this together quick because it's a You Pick Tuesday request. So, had to look through, decide, get the pictures, put this down, and hope. Just hope and pray that you guys will enjoy it. And think to yourselves, how would I set this list up? Would I set it up any different? Would I go all modern at first? And the older guys? Vice versa? Hit thumbs up on the video. Don't be afraid to put your list out on the comment section below. I think they're fun. Have a great one, guys.